Junipers are coniferous plants in the genus Juniperus, DUN Perez, of the cypress family Cupressaceae. Depending on taxonomic viewpoint, between 50 and 67 species of juniper are widely distributed throughout the northern hemisphere, from the Arctic south to tropical Africa in the Old World, and to the mountains of Central America and Ziyarat, Pakistan. The highest known juniper forest occurs at altitude of 4,900 meters in southeastern Tibet and the northern Himalayas, creating one of the highest tree lines on Earth. Description: junipers vary in size and shape from tall trees, 20 to 40 meters tall, to columnar or low-spreading shrubs with long trailing branches. They are evergreen with needle-lichen, or scale-like leaves. They can be either monoecious or dioecious. The female seed cones are very distinctive, with fleshy, fruit-like coalescing scales which fuse together to form a berry-like structure, 4 to 27 mm long, with 1 to 12 unwinged, hard-shelled seeds. In some species these berries are red, brown or orange, but in most they are blue. They are often aromatic and can be used as a spice. The seed maturation time varies between species from 6 to 18 months after pollination. The male cones are similar to those of other Cupressaceae, with 6 to 20 scales. In zones 7 through 10, junipers can bloom and release pollen several times each year. A few species of juniper bloom in autumn, while most species pollinate from early winter until late spring. Many junipers have two types of leaves. Seedlings and sim twigs of older trees have needle-like leaves 5 to 25 mm long, and the leaves on mature plants are tiny, overlapping and scale-like. When juvenile foliage occurs on mature plants, it is most often found on shaded shoots, with adult foliage in full sunlight. Leaves on fast-growing, whip shoots are often intermediate between juvenile and adult. In some species, all the foliage is of the juvenile needle-like type, with no scale leaves. In some of these, the needles are jointed at the base. In others, the needles merge smoothly with the stem, not jointed. The needle leaves of junipers are hard and sharp, making the juvenile foliage very prickly to handle. This can be a valuable identification feature in seedlings, as the otherwise very similar juvenile foliage of cypresses and other related genera is soft and not prickly. Juniper is the exclusive food plant of the larvae of some Lepidoptera species including Bucculatrix and Usitata and juniper carpet, and is also eaten by the larvae of other Lepidoptera species such as Schnodes electella, Schnodes viduella, juniper pug and pine beauty. Those of the Tortrix moth C. duplicana feed on the bark around injuries or canker. Classification: the number of juniper species is in dispute, with two recent studies giving very different totals, Farjon accepting 52 species, and Adams accepting 67 species. The section Juniperus is an obvious monophyletic group though. Juniperus sect. Juniperus. Needle-leaf junipers. The adult leaves are needle-like, in whorls of 3, and jointed at the base. Juniperus sect. Juniperus subsect. Juniperus. Cones with 3 separate seeds, needles with 1 stomatal band. Juniperus communis, common juniper Juniperus communis subsp. Alpina, alpine juniper Juniperus conferta, shore juniper Juniperus rigida, temple juniper or needle juniper Juniperus sect. Juniperus subsect. Oxysidrus. Cones with 3 separate seeds, needles with 2 stomatal bands. Juniperus brevifolia, Azores, Juniper Juniperus cedrus, Canary Islands Juniper Juniperus deltoidus, Eastern prickly Juniper Juniperus formosana, Chinese prickly Juniper Juniperus lutuensis, Ryukyu Juniper Juniperus navicularis, Portuguese prickly Juniper Juniperus oxysidrus, Western prickly juniper orchid Juniper Juniperus macrocarpa, largeberry Juniper Juniperus sect. Juniperus subsect. Caryocedrus. Cones with 3 seeds fused together, needles with 2 stomatal bands. Juniperus drupacea, Syrian juniper. Juniperus sect. Sabina. Scale leaf junipers. The adult leaves are mostly scale-like, similar to those of Cupressus species, in opposite pairs or whorls of 3, and the juvenile needle-like leaves are not jointed at the base. Provisionally, all the other junipers are included here, though they form a paraphyletic group. Old World species Juniperus chinensis, Chinese Juniper Juniperus chinensis var. Sargentii, Sargent's Juniper Juniperus chinensis L. var. Sucashiensis Masamoon Juniperus chinensis Kaizuka Juniperus chinensis var. Procumbens Juniperus chinensis globosa Juniperus chinensis aurea, Juniperus convolvulum, Mekong Juniper Juniperus excelsa, Greek Juniper, Juniperus excelsa polycarpos, Persian Juniper Juniperus fetidissimus, Stinking Juniper Juniperus indica, Black Juniper Juniperus komarovi, Komarov's Juniper Juniperus Phoenicia, Phoenician Juniper Juniperus pingi, Ping Juniper Juniperus pingi var. Tengi Juniperus pingi var. Mihai Juniperus pingi var. Wilsoni Juniperus procera, East African Juniper Juniperus procumbens, Ibuki Juniper Juniperus pseudozabina, Xinjiang Juniper Juniperus recurvae, Himalayan Juniper Juniperus recurvae var. Botanica Juniperus recurvae var. Coxia, Cox's Juniper Juniperus sabina, Savin Juniper Juniperus sabina var. Devurica, Dorian Juniper Juniperus salturia, Sichuan Juniper Juniperus semiglobosa, Russian Juniper Juniperus squamata, Flaky Juniper Juniperus thuriferae, Spanish Juniper Juniperus tibetica, Tibetan Juniper Juniperus wallachana, Himalayan Black Juniper New World species Juniperus angosturana, Mexican one-seed Juniper Juniperus ashai, Ash Juniper Juniperus arizonica, synonym, Juniperus coahuilensis var. Arizonica or Juniperus erythrocarpa var. Coahuilensis. Common names: Redberry Juniper, Roseberry Juniper Juniperus barbadensis, West Indies Juniper Juniperus bermudiana, Bermuda Juniper Juniperus blonsoir, Blanco's Juniper Juniperus californica, California Juniper Juniperus coahuilensis, Coahuila Juniper Juniperus cometana, Cometan Juniper Juniperus depiana, Alligator Juniper Juniperus durangensis, Durango Juniper Juniperus flaccida, Mexican Weeping Juniper Juniperus gamboana, Gamboa Juniper Juniperus horizontalize, Creeping Juniper Juniperus geliscana, Jalisco Juniper Juniperus monosperma, one-seed Juniper Juniperus monticola, Mountain Juniper Juniperus occidentalis, Western Juniper Juniperus occidentalis subsp. Australis, Sierra Juniper Juniperus osteosperma, Utah Juniper Juniperus pinchotii, Pincho Juniper Juniperus saltillensis, Saltillo Juniper Juniperus scopalorum, Rocky Mountain Juniper Juniperus Stanley, Stanley's Juniper Juniperus virginiana, Eastern Juniper Juniperus virginiana, subsp. Salicicola, Southern Juniper Juniperus zanania. Cultivation and uses. Juniper berries are a spice used in a wide variety of culinary dishes and best known for the primary flavoring in gin. Juniper berries are also used as the primary flavor in the liquor Geneva and Sati style of beers. Juniper berry sauce is often a popular flavoring choice for quail, pheasant, veal, rabbit, venison and other meat dishes. Many of the earliest prehistoric people lived in or near juniper forests which furnished them food, fuel, and wood for shelter or utensils. Many species, such as J. chinensis from eastern Asia, are extensively used in landscaping and horticulture, and is one of the most popular species for use in bonsai. It is also a symbol of longevity, strength, athleticism, and fertility. Some junipers are susceptible to gymnosporangium rust disease, and can be a serious problem for those people growing apple trees. the alternate host of the disease. Some junipers are given the common name cedar, including Juniperus virginiana, the red cedar, that is used widely in cedar draws. Eastern red cedar is the correct name for J. virginiana. The lack of space between the words red and cedar indicate that this species is not a true cedar, cedrus. In Morocco, the tar of the ara tree is applied in dotted patterns on bisque drinking cups. Gitran makes the water more fragrant and is said to be good for the teeth. Some indigenous peoples, such as the Dinare, have traditionally used juniper to treat diabetes. Animal studies have shown that treatment with juniper may retard the development of streptozotose and induce diabetes in mice. Native Americans have also used juniper berries as a female contraceptive. The 17th-century herbalist physician Nicholas Culpeper recommended the ripened berries for conditions such as asthma and sciatica, as well as to speed childbirth. Juniper is one of the plants used in Scottish and Gaelic polytheist seining rites, such as those performed at Hogmanay, where the smoke of burning juniper is used to cleanse, bless and protect the household and its inhabitants. Juniper berries are steam distilled to produce an essential oil that may vary from colorless to yellow or pale green. Some of its chemical components are alpha-pinene, cadenane, camphene and terpineol. Leaves and twigs of Juniperus virginiana are steam distilled to produce oil of juniper. Middle Tennessee and adjacent northern Alabama and southern Kentucky are the centers for this activity. The U.S. Forest Service has provided plans for the apparatus required. This work is typically done during periods of cold weather to reduce the loss of essential oil to evaporation, which is greater in warmer weather, and to take advantage of a time of year when labor might be more readily available. Juniper in weave is a traditional cladding technique used in Northern Europe, e.g., at Havre, Norway. Allergenic potential. In drier areas, juniper pollen easily becomes airborne and can be inhaled into the lungs. This pollen can also irritate the skin and cause contact dermatitis. Cross-allergenic reactions are common between juniper pollen and the pollen of all species of cypress. Monoecious juniper plants are highly allergenic, with an Opal's allergy scale rating of 9 out of 10. Completely male juniper plants have an Opal's rating of 10, and release abundant amounts of pollen. Conversely, all female juniper plants have an Opal's rating of 1, and are considered allergy-fighting.